Hey everyone, and welcome back for another deep dive. You guys are not going to believe this one. We're talking about those shapes in the sky, remember?
Oh, yeah, those things were wild.
Yeah, it all started December 2024, right in the middle of the holiday season in Morris County, New Jersey.
Oh, wow, so like right in the suburbs.
Yeah, exactly. Like, picture it, quiet suburbs, holiday lights are up, everything's peaceful,
Right.
and then bam, these glowing geometric shapes just appear up in the sky.
It's crazy how fast that went viral. Like from local news to everyone's talking about it.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Hashtag NJ Shapes was trending everywhere.
Oh, yeah, I remember seeing that.
And everyone was trying to figure out what they were. At first, people thought, oh, maybe they're drones.
Right.
But it quickly became pretty clear that these things were moving in ways that no drone or plane or anything we know could move.
Yeah, they were doing some crazy stuff.
So, of course, you have everyone on social media with their theories,
UFOs, government experiments, the works.
Exactly. It was wild. And that's where Clara Reed comes in.
Oh, yeah, the journalist.
Yeah. She was actually pretty skeptical at first.
Really?
Yeah, but then she saw the shapes herself.
Oh, wow.
And she said there was just something about them, the way they moved, the almost eerie silence around them. It really shook her.
Yeah, I can imagine like seeing something like that firsthand.
So she starts digging into it, right? She's an investigative journalist. That's what she does.
Right.
And she starts noticing this weird thing happening with radio signals.
Oh, really?
Yeah, every time the shapes would show up, radios would just go haywire.
Like staticky.
Yeah, like static bursts,
Yeah.
weird tones. It seemed like something was messing with the airwaves on purpose.
Huh. So it wasn't just a coincidence or like interference.
It seemed way too deliberate for that. And so at this point, Clara, she's thinking, all right, who do I talk to about this?
Yeah, you got to call in the experts.
Exactly. So she reaches out to this astrophysicist, Dr. Ravi Shah,
Oh, smart move.
and he points out this really crucial thing about the shapes. The formations, they're not random.
Oh, I bet this is where it gets good.
Yeah, they're actually mathematical. Like they're structured almost like
A code.
Yeah, or like a language.
Hold on, language.
Yeah, think about it. You're Clara, you've got these impossible shapes messing with your radio, and now you're hearing they might be trying to communicate.
That's got to be both terrifying and exciting.
Right. What would you even do at that point?
Well, Clara did what any good journalist would have. She kept digging.
She didn't give up.
No way. She set up a whole observation post, got better equipment, the whole 9 yards.
Wow. So she was really committed to getting to the bottom of this.
Absolutely. And as she's waiting, the shapes come back.
Oh, no.
But this time, they come closer. And through her radio, she hears a voice whisper, "Prepare."
No way. Are you serious?
Yeah, it's in reports. Chillin', right?
Totally changes things. Now we're not just talking about pretty lights in the sky.
Now there's a message of warning, who knows?
And what do people think about that?
Oh, man. It was chaos. More sightings, governments freaking out, conspiracy theories everywhere.
It almost felt like the world was ending.
For some people, probably, yeah. But Clara, she kept her cool.
What'd you do?
Well, she took that recording of the prepare message and analyzed it.
Smart.
And get this, within what sounded like static,
Yeah.
she found these faint patterns, almost like a hidden code.
So someone or something was definitely trying to talk to us. Seems that way. And then, as if to confirm it, the shapes return again.
Oh, no, not again.
But this time they reveal themselves as these beings called the messengers.
Messengers?
Yeah, and they start projecting images into the sky. Not just random stuff either.
What kind of images?
Well, it showed these alien landscapes. Yeah, but also familiar Earth landmarks and even a star map.
Like they were trying to show us something.
Right.
Yeah.
Like connecting with us, showing they understand us.
That's wild. And it wasn't just in New Jersey anymore, right?
Nope. These messengers were popping up all over the world, projecting those same
It's
patterns.
a global phenomenon.
And get this, they started messing with power grids, too.
Oh, wow, really?
Yeah, like they were making their presence known on a whole other level. I bet governments were losing their minds.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
People were freaking out, too. Some with awe, some with fear.
Yeah,
It was a moment that, like, challenged what people thought was even possible.
totally. I can't even imagine. And then on top of all of that, Ravi, back at his lab, makes this crazy discovery.
Let me guess it's about the patterns.
You got it. Those patterns the messengers were projecting, they weren't random. They were coordinates.
Coordinates, like to a place.
Exactly. And guess where they pointed to?
I have no idea.
This ancient cave in Morocco.
What? In Morocco?
Yep, and here's the kicker. This cave has carvings that are similar to the patterns the messengers were showing.
So, like thousands of years ago, someone knew about these shapes. these messengers.
It's like something out of a movie. It's not just about lights in the sky anymore.
It's about our history, our origins, maybe even about whether we're alone in the universe.
This is getting really deep, so what did they do with that information?
Well, Clara and Ravi, they contacted this archaeologist, Dr. Amara Sadiq. She was the one who originally discovered the cave. And together, they all raced to decode those carvings.
Makes sense they needed to figure out what it all meant.
Exactly. And what they found wasn't just a message. It was a prophecy from thousands of years ago. And it was coming true right before their eyes.
Hold on, a prophecy. Okay, now I'm really hooked. What did it say?
Well, it showed the arrival of the shapes, people coming together to try and understand them. And then this final ominous event, a huge object blocking out the sun.
Blocking out the sun, like an eclipse.
Bigger. And this object, it's connected to these beings called the architects.
The architects.
Yeah, and the carvings suggest they're incredibly powerful. Maybe even the creators of the universe.
The creators of the universe. This is heavy stuff.
No kidding, and nobody knows what they want or what they'll do.
That's got to be terrifying.
So Clara, being Clara, she publishes her findings.
Oh, I bet that went over well.
Yeah, you can imagine the world went nuts. Debates, panic, the whole 9 yards.
Total chaos.
Governments scrambled to figure out what to do, and in a rare show of unity, they formed this thing called the Unity Initiative.
The Unity Initiative, what's that?
Basically, a global effort to prepare for whatever's coming.
Smart move, considering we have no idea what we're dealing with.
Right. It's a massive undertaking trying to get everyone on the same page.
Especially with all the tension and distrust between countries.
Exactly. And just when things couldn't get more intense, the messengers, they projected another message into the sky.
Another one.
Yeah, just 2 words. 7 days.
7 days, like a countdown.
That's what everyone thought. A deadline for something. But what? Nobody knew.
Man, that must have been nerve-wracking.
It was like the whole world was holding its breath, waiting for the other shoe to drop.
So what happened during those 7 days?
Well, a lot happened. Ravi and his team, they managed to decipher another message from the messengers.
Oh, really? What was this one about?
This one was about balance. It seems the architects, they value harmony in all things.
Balance, harmony. Interesting.
And then to really drive the point home, the messengers started projecting these holographic visions of Earth's history.
Like a highlight reel.
Kind of. They showed moments of great achievement, but also moments of terrible destruction. Like they were forcing humanity to confront its past.
Wow, I wonder what they were trying to say with that.
Right. Were they judging us? Testing us? Trying to teach us a lesson?
It's hard to say, but it definitely makes you think.
And all the while, that countdown was ticking down. The tension was so thick, you could cut it with a knife.
I bet not everyone was happy with the Unity Initiative's approach either, right?
Oh, yeah. There were definitely those who thought a more aggressive approach was needed.
Like who?
One of the most vocal opponents was this military leader, General Harding.
General Harding.
He believed strength, not diplomacy, was the only way to deal with this threat.
So basically he wanted to fight.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And things really came to a head on the 6th day.
What happened?
Clara got a tip that Harding was planning a secret attack against one of the messengers.
He was going to attack them?
Yeah, he was convinced it was the only way to protect Earth.
That's incredibly risky, especially when we know so little about them.
She tried to warn the Unity Initiative, but it was too late. On the 7th day, Harding launched a missile.
Oh, no.
And the messenger, it just disintegrated the missile effortlessly.
It just destroyed it.
Gone. Like it was nothing. And then it projected one final image, a massive spherical object blocking out the sun.
The architects.
They had arrived.
That's where we'll have to leave it for today, but make sure to come back next time to find out what happens next.
Wow. I don't know about you, but I'm still trying to process that ending. The architects their ship is just hanging there in the sky. It's like a giant question mark.
It's the biggest unknown in human history right now. What do they want? Are they friendly? Are they hostile? Are we in danger?
Yeah, it feels like the whole world is holding its breath, just waiting to see what happens next. So what are Clara and Ravi up to in all of this?
Well, they're right in the middle of everything, of course. Clara's working with the Unity Initiative, trying to figure out what the messengers are trying to tell us, hoping for any clue about what the architects might do next.
Makes sense. And what about Ravi? He and his team of scientists are analyzing all the data they've collected, looking for patterns, clues, anything that could help us understand what we're dealing with.
You know, it just occurred to me that message Ravi decoded earlier, the one about balance. I wonder if that's the key to all of this.
It's possible, right? Maybe the architects aren't here to destroy us. Maybe they're just observing us, evaluating us, seeing where we're at.
Yeah, maybe. But then why the prepare message? And why mess with power grids all over the world? That doesn't exactly scream benevolent observers.
That's a good point. It's a very complex situation full of contradictions. Maybe they're trying to shake us up a bit, get us to look at ourselves and our flaws.
You mean like a cosmic wake-up call?
Maybe. Maybe they want to see if we can overcome our self-destructive tendencies. Step up and become something more.
That's a pretty intense thought. And speaking of destructive tendencies, what about General Harding and his people? I bet they're not too happy about the Unity Initiative's approach.
Yeah, Harding's faction is definitely pushing for a more aggressive response. They think we should hit the architects before they hit us.
But that could be a huge mistake, right? We don't even know what they're capable of.
Exactly. It's like that old saying, we have met the enemy and he is us.
Yeah, it's our own fear and mistrust that could end up destroying us. So we've got the Unity Initiative trying to communicate, we've got Harding ready to launch another attack, and we've got the architects just watching and waiting. What happens next?
Well, for days, nothing. The architect's ship just stayed there, silent, motionless. It was agonizing. The whole world was on edge. Governments didn't know what to do. The Unity Initiative was spinning its wheels, and people everywhere were reacting in all sorts of ways. Some were praying, some were rioting, some were just completely numb.
It's like the whole planet was frozen in time, waiting for the next shoe to drop.
And then on the 5th day after the architect's arrival, something incredible happened. One of the messengers detached from the main ship and descended towards Earth.
Wait, are you serious?
Yeah.
They finally made a move.
Yep. And it hovered over the Unity Initiative's headquarters in Geneva.
Like they were trying to make contact.
It seemed that way.
Mm.
And then it projected this beam of light down towards the building.
Would they attack him?
No, it wasn't a destructive beam.
Yeah.
It was more like a focused beam of energy. And guess who was right in the path of that beam?
Kara.
You got it. She was bathed in this light, this energy. Witnesses said it wasn't hot or painful, but incredibly intense. Like pure information was flowing through her.
That's wild. So what happened to her?
Well, the light stopped as suddenly as it started. The messenger went back up to the main ship, and Clara was left standing there, seemingly unharmed but changed.
Changed? How did they hurt her? Did they give her a message?
The Unity Initiative rushed to examine her, but they couldn't find any physical changes. No injuries, no signs of tampering. But she was different. She was calm, almost serene, and she claimed to have knowledge, understanding that she didn't have before.
What does that even mean? Like, did they download information into her brain?
It's more than that. It's like they expanded her consciousness, gave her a glimpse into their world, their perspective. And here's the really crazy part. She started speaking, but not in any language anyone recognized.
Wait, what? Like she was just making sounds.
It was structured, complex, almost musical. And Ravi, he noticed something. The patterns in her speech were similar to the patterns he'd observed in the messenger's signals.
Hold on, are you saying she's speaking the architect's language?
That's what it seems like.
Yeah.
Like they gave her the key to understanding them, a Rosetta Stone for their communication. But now the race is on to decode it, figure out what she's saying, what secrets she holds.
This is insane. We've gone from mysterious lights in the sky to a possible breakthrough in communication with beings who could be the creators of the universe.
It's a moment that could change the course of human history. But remember, General Harding is still out there. He might see this as a weakness, an opportunity to strike. The fate of the world could hang in the balance, and it all comes down to understanding Clara's message.
So what happens next? Does Ravi crack the code? What does Clara reveal? And what about General Harding? This is one cliffhanger I can't wait to resolve. All right, we're back. And I gotta say, my head is spinning from everything we talked about last time. We've got the architects here. Their ship is just looming over us, and Clara is now speaking some alien language after that whole beam of light thing. It's like something straight out of a movie.
It's definitely a situation unlike anything we've ever seen before. We have this potential opportunity to talk to beings who could be millions of years ahead of us. But the problem is we can't understand a word she's saying.
So what are Ravi and his team doing about that? Are they making any progress in deciphering her speech?
They're working nonstop trying to crack the code. They're analyzing the patterns, comparing them to the messenger's signals, looking for any kind of Rosetta Stone that can help us translate.
It must be like trying to solve a puzzle with half the pieces missing. And all the while, the architect's ship is just sitting up there watching silently. I don't know about you, but it makes me feel kind of small, you know?
It's definitely a humbling experience. We're being confronted with the vastness of the universe and how little we actually know.
Mhm.
It's terrifying, but also exciting. We're on the verge of something truly groundbreaking, something that could completely change our understanding of everything.
I just hope we can figure it out before General Harding does something crazy. He's still out there, and I have a feeling he's not going to wait around forever.
Harding represents that part of humanity that always wants to fight, that sees any unknown as a threat that needs to be eliminated. But the architect's message seems to be about something else entirely, about harmony and balance.
So maybe the real battle isn't with the architects, but within ourselves. Can we overcome our fear and aggression and embrace this opportunity to learn and grow?
That's the question, isn't it? The architects might be testing us, seeing if we're ready to take the next step in our evolution. So we've got the global tension, we've got Clara speaking in riddles, and we've got the clock ticking. What happens next?
Well, after days of work, Ravi and his team finally make a breakthrough.
Really? What do they find?
They manage to isolate a recurring pattern in Clara's speech, something they think is a word or a concept, and they translated it.
So what's the word?
Harmony.
Harmony. That's really interesting, especially considering that earlier message about balance. It seems like the architects really put a lot of importance on equilibrium, not just in the physical world, but within ourselves.
Yeah, like our inner peace, our ability to connect with each other and the universe around us. Maybe that's what they're looking for in a species.
It's a powerful message. And it really challenges our usual ideas about progress. We tend to think that progress is all about technology and conquering nature. But maybe true progress is about something much deeper, about finding harmony within ourselves and with the universe.
I like that. So what else does Clara reveal?
Well, as Ravi's team continues to translate her speech, they realize it's not just random messages. It's a story. The architect's story.
Like their history.
More than that.
Yeah.
It's their perspective on the universe, their values, their understanding of existence. And it's full of amazing concepts that completely challenge our way of thinking.
Can you give me an example?
Well, for instance, they have a completely different understanding of time. We see it as a straight line from past to present to future, but they see it as a multidimensional web where everything is interconnected.
Whoa. That's a lot to wrap my head around.
It's like trying to explain a computer to an ant. That's the level of difference we're talking about.
So what's the main point of their story? Why are they sharing this with us?
Well, one of the key themes that emerges is connection. The architects aren't just watching us, it seems. They've been influencing life on Earth for millions of years, guiding our evolution, nudging us towards that harmony they value so much.
Like they're cosmic gardeners.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it really makes you think, we're not just some random accident.
Yeah.
We're part of something much bigger, something amazing.
That's a beautiful thought. But if they've been guiding us all along, why the sudden appearance? Why the global disruption? Why the countdown? It seems like a strange way to check in on your garden.
It's the big mystery, isn't it? Maybe they're facing some kind of challenge, a threat that requires help from all sentient beings in the universe. Or maybe they're just seeing if we're ready to take a bigger role on the galactic stage.
It feels like we're standing at the very beginning of a new era, a new chapter in human history. But the question is, what will that chapter be like?
That's up to us to decide. The architects have given us a glimpse into a different way of being, a way of seeing ourselves and the universe around us. Now we have to choose whether to embrace that vision or cling to our old, destructive ways.
It's a choice with huge consequences, not just for us, but for countless other beings across the cosmos. So as we wrap up this deep dive, I want to leave you with this thought. The shapes in the sky, the messengers, the architects, they've given us a message, a challenge, and an opportunity. What will we do with it?
Will we rise to the occasion? Will we find that harmony within ourselves and with the universe around us? Only time will tell, but one thing's for sure, the journey is just beginning.
Thanks for joining us on this incredible deep dive. We'll see you next time for another exploration of the unknown. Until then, keep looking up and keep asking questions because the universe is full of wonders just waiting to be discovered.